Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Ben. Ben is from Bristol in England, in the UK. So let's see what Ben has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hey William, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can indeed, yeah. How you doing?
Amazing. Hello Ben, I'm very well. How are you doing today?
Good, yeah, not too bad, thank you. Yeah, really good, thank you. So, thank you for letting us rearrange, by the way. Apologies for last week. I'd gigged at
Okay.
the weekend and it seemed to come like an illness just hit me in one, annoyingly. So, yeah.
So tell me, how's your weekend going so far?
Sorry again?
Your weekend going so far?
It's good. It's very good. Yeah, it's been a busy one for me for gigs. I was gigging three times yesterday. I was gigging once on Friday as well. So I had a bit
Wow.
of a relaxed day today and just kind of taking it easy. How about yourself?
Been good actually. Yes, been busy with some interviews and it's a beautiful weather outside. I think it's a glorious day.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely it is. So yeah, I can completely agree. As long as it got some nice weather to it, I can't complain.
So tell me, what has been the highlight of your weekend so far?
Probably the two gigs that I did yesterday, actually. Well, I had three, but it was one of those where there's two really great ones. I was playing at a place, basically just launching a new kind of opening of a rugby club for someone, and then I was also playing down in a bar later down in the evening, and it was just one of those where everyone was clearly in the mindset of out for a good night and having a good laugh and a dance and everything, and it was yeah, everything was really just quite enjoyable. So yeah.
Wow.
How about yourself?
Okay, yes. Being the highlight of my weekend has been sitting here and doing some interviews with people around the globe. That's for me the highlight for sure.
Sounds like
So
a
tell
happy
me,
story.
let's start the interview talking about your career as a musician. So tell me how everything started.
I think it just kind of came about out of chance, really. I've always loved music, and I've always kind of just
Hmm.
wanted to be involved in that world in some way. And then I've always sung since I was pretty much since I could talk, essentially. It's just one of those
Wow.
things I've love to sing. And then about 13 years old, I had a friend who I was around his house, and he had just got into guitar. And I kind of just while he was playing a game, I picked up his guitar, and I was just kind of noodling away and playing away and seeing what it's like. And then yeah, kind of just caught the bug from there. So I got my own guitar, started learning and practicing, started kind of going out and performing, and yeah, it's just snowballed since.
Wow. And where are you from, Ben?
I'm from Bristol in the UK.
Born and raised?
Second,
Born and raised?
I am born and raised. Yes, yeah, absolutely. I moved out of Bristol for a few years to go to university, but I came back, and yeah, Bristol's the home for sure.
What's the biggest joy of waking up in Bristol every morning?
um, I'd love to say the weather, but the UK is not really that well known for that, sadly. I think it's I think it's having the ability to go out and just do whatever you want. Like Bristol is a very diverse place with a lot of different options, and a lot of really cool scenes and really cool places to go. So there's just a lot around it, and there's a lot in the city and stuff as well. And you know, there's woods all around and everything like that. So it's always great to be able to go out and go for walks and things as you want to. But yeah, I think the idea of just having the ability to get up and pretty much have the freedom to do what you want is quite a nice difference compared to a lot of different places.
Amazing. Okay, Ben. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey, okay?
Awesome.
But before we start our journey, within the magic box, I'd like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Oh, okay. Um, Interesting or people something that people don't really know about me. So I'm a country musician myself, but a lot of things that people probably don't know about me is that when I was a bit younger, I used to actually be the lead singer of a pop rock and kind of post kind of punky band. So I used to be a bit of a punk singer as well. So
Oh, wow, interesting. Amazing. Ben, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views? Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Run the fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
awesome.
Let's do it. Okay, Ben, during the interview, if it comes up a question that maybe you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yep.
Amazing. First question is, if you were to raise a child, what is the most important thing would you like them to learn?
Um, think compassion and understanding is one of the things I kind of find is a really key thing for someone to understand as they're younger. I've always been one of those where I don't like the idea of people kind of with conflict or fighting and things like that. And obviously, there's use for it in different places, but I think as a general overall, I think you should be quite a compassionate person and an understanding person to other people from their circumstances because you don't know, what they've been through or what they're going through at that point.
And when you think about your childhood memories, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Oh wow. I've got so many great memories, but I think some of the ones that always stick with me are we have a few family friends that we would on weekends go over and see and things, and obviously they had a few children that are kind of our age and things as well. And it was those sort of evenings where you're a lot younger and you're kind of just with these friends and you're kind of just spending the time having a laugh, gaming, playing games with everyone, all in a family setting, and it's one of those that seemed like the most wholesome moments to me, and there's quite a few of those in my mind. So.
Tell me a person in your family that when you're feeling the lowest for some reason, you feel like, I need to talk to someone right now. I need to open up. At the same time, when you're feeling the greatest, you feel like, oh my God, I need to share this news. I'm feeling great right now. Tell me which person comes to your mind.
I think when I'm feeling the lowest, probably my mum. Which is, I think that's quite common for quite a few people. I'm not saying it's for everyone, obviously, but it is. I think it's one of those where I think my mum's on the more compassionate side of things and more happily sit there and listen no matter what. So she's definitely someone I go to if I'm feeling low. And if I'm feeling good about myself, I do also go to my mum, but I also go to my dad quite a bit because my dad is more into kind of the music side of things than my mum is, and it's one of those where a lot of the things where I'm feeling good normally relates to the music stuff. So yeah, it's normally a mix between them for the goods, and then when I'm feeling low, normally my mum.
Wow. Okay, both of your parents, they're watching this interview right now. When you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message, what would you say? They're watching.
Thank you for everything that you both have ever done for me.
Oh, sweet. And for you as a musician growing up, did you have the support of your family at the time, or it was a big plus for you, or there was a big challenge?
Yeah, I think I've always had my family are very supportive anyway. I've always had support from them. They don't necessarily, uh, get everything with it, but they're always supportive completely. And it's very much one of those where my dad will take a massive interest in it and tries to know everything and learn everything he can about it. My mum is one of those where she's very happy to admit sometimes that she may not know all about it, but she's happy to be supportive and be there anyway. So yeah, I've always had the support of them, and they're great.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, Ben from England. Next question is, how do you manage or how do you approach self-doubt?
Um, I think this is going to be a hard one because it depends on who you are and how you approach things in general. I am very much one of those where I do get self doubt, as I think a lot of people will in their own experiences. Um, and what I personally do is that I allow myself to feel it for a while, and I think that's to me that's quite a cathartic and useful thing to do. I will, I'll feel quite doubtful of myself, and I'll kind of I won't like kind of wallow in pity, but allow myself to feel that, to be in that emotion for a while. Normally it's towards an evening, and it's like, okay, well, let's have the whole evening of just feeling this. Wake up the next morning, completely change the mindset, and that's kind of normally how I go through it with it. I'm very much like I need to allow myself to feel it, to understand why I'm feeling that self doubt, and then allow myself to have a clear head in the morning and go, okay, right, I've felt that self doubt now. What can I do to change it, or to make sure that there isn't going to be that after that?
What's the biggest joy of being Ben? What do you like the most about being you?
It's being a performer. I love performing. I love being able to, whether it's doing my own stuff, doing covers and stuff. I love being able to go out on an evening, pick up a guitar, play some songs, because music is my absolute passion in life, and just see people's faces light up when they hear a song that they love, that they can sing or they can dance to, and doing gigs like I did literally last night, where you've got a tiny pub, but it's absolutely rammed full of people, and you've got people singing and dancing, and that's one of my main joys in life. Yeah.
I think the power of music about connecting people is just beautiful. It's so interesting to see a performer, singing, performing at the same time as well. See people connecting with the music itself. I think it's just a great energy. You know what I mean? It changes your mood, it changes your path, it changes everything about yourself. And even when you're feeling lowest, feeling sad, you just listen to some music, it just gets you to a place that is very powerful.
Absolutely, yeah. And as they tend to say, music is one of the only universal languages in the world. It's um, it's just
Yeah.
such a, as you said, the connectivity between people that it brings out is, yeah. I think that's probably one of the main reasons I love it.
Next question. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a musician, you know? And the second part of the question is being a musician, a singer in the UK, in Bristol in particular, do you feel like there are a lot of opportunities? You know, you can connect with other musician easily, or sometimes can be a bit tricky, or you need to go to other places like London or big cities?
Yeah, I think so. One of the best things about being a musician in general is that I just get to. I'm not well. One, I'm not great at many things. So musician's one of those things I was kind of I lent into, and it was something I felt I was okay at. And yeah, it allows me to kind of get my feelings out there in my songwriting. It allows me to express myself a bit better in different ways, and I think that's one of the things I love about it. But yeah, performing in Bristol. I perform in Bristol. I perform in loads of different cities across the UK. I'm in London next month to perform, and it's one of those where I think I definitely have a lot of opportunities in Bristol and around the sort of places and stuff. And I think it completely depends on how much you put yourself out there as a musician, on how many opportunities you're going to get at that point. Because I could sit here and I could work with a promotions company and I could do just gigs in Bristol and just do the odd cover gig and as it is, or I could do kind of what I do now, which is do gigs all across the UK, and I can go and
Mhm.
meet new people every single time, and I can go to different cities, and I get to see new fans, and yeah, it's I think the more you throw yourself into the lifestyle, the more opportunities you get with it, and that's something I've just kind of embraced, really.
I see. All right. Next question is, what's something you believe is undeniable true?
An undeniable truth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one. I'd say an undeniable truth, and I'll keep it on the music side of it. But I think the undeniable truth is that something artists need to understand, and I think a lot of them do, but not necessarily all of them do, which is that you are never going to please everyone.
Mm.
And that's something that so many people strive to do. They want to make the entire room happy. They want to make everyone enjoy the sets and stuff. And I'm kind of in that mindset of what, if you can make one person in that room happy, then you've done your job as it is. Because everyone's got a different taste in stuff, in lifestyles and music and everything. No matter what, you will never be able to please everyone. And that's as much as I've applied that to music, that applies in so many different contexts as well. And I think as soon as people kind of realize and understand that you're not going to be everyone's favorite person, but you can be the favorite person to the people that matter to you and to other people. And yeah, I think eventually once people kind of accept that, then yeah, I think life becomes a bit more happy, if that makes sense. So,
And what's the meaning of life for you when you think about life?
have you had anyone want to say 42 yet?
That was
Meaning of life. I think the meaning of life to me is one of those where it's enjoy yourself, have a great time, and don't waste your time doing it because you're only here for a short amount of time, and life in itself is fleeting as it is.
and you believe that happiness is a choice?
I do. I do. I think there's definitely, obviously, there are lots of times where, things like sadness and stuff will come into your life and you don't necessarily have control over that because it's situational and things will happen that can obviously affect you. But you need to go through the bad parts to understand the happy parts. And I do think that you have the ability to change that outlook on life to be more of a positive disposition than to be negative, essentially. So yeah, I think happiness is a choice in some way. It does take some effort to get happiness in your life, but yeah, it's definitely a choice, let's say.
Tell me, when have you felt the happiest in your life?
I think genuinely when I've just been around family or friends and we've just had like time off and we've been sat in, say, the garden, or I've been in the park with them, we've been doing barbecues and stuff, and we're just having the chance to socialise and chat and laugh and just have fun. And that's just something that doesn't happen enough, annoyingly. I'm sure it happens for a lot of people, but for me, it's one of those where I wish it could happen a lot more. So yeah, those sort of days and nights and stuff are kind of my my be all and all. I love those sort of things.
Amazing. Next question, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. Okay, next question is, what's the best advice have you ever given to someone?
Best advice I've ever given to someone. Cool, that's a difficult one. It depends on the context. I think it's one of those where a lot of the context that I'm obviously giving advice normally is for music and stuff like that as well. But I was a teacher for a little while, and I think there was a lot of advice I was giving then as well. Obviously for kind of students who were about to leave and going on to do stuff. And one of the best bits of advice I can give is just put yourself out there and don't be afraid to be yourself and put yourself out there, because in things like school and stuff, it's a very different situation. You're stuck in a group of people you're in your hometown, and you're not necessarily with like-minded people. If you go to somewhere like university, or if you go into a job that you're really into, you're going to be with more like-minded people. The more you put yourself out there, the more people are going to see you, the more people are going to be happy with your true self. And I think that's kind of my best advice I can give to anyone, is just go out there, put yourself out there as you, be true to yourself, and
Well,
you'll find the right crowd.
being a country rock artist, people who doesn't understand much about, it's a junction between country music and rock music. And how do you see that gender in the UK? Something that's always been, or is something new in the UK?
I'd say in the UK it's relatively new at the moment. So obviously country music has been around in so many different countries for years and years and years. And obviously America is kind of the big place for it. But in the UK, it's had a bit of a country revival. I want to say in the last maybe 5 years or so.
Wow.
And it's just country's really started to grow in the UK, which is great. And it's something that's obviously then got its subgenres such as country pop, country folk, country rock. And it is a bit of a blend between them. So it is that kind of country sound, but maybe a bit more rocky driven guitars, and then maybe a bit more kind of just in your face kind of hitting of the music, I think is kind of the best way to put it. And it's almost a bit like stadium country is kind of like a way to describe it. It's very much like those kind of, you're in a big stadium setting, it's those big sounds, it's that kind of, as I said, driven guitars with it. You've still got the classic kind of pedal steel guitars and from country and things, and you have those kind of meaningful lyrics and things, but it just has that bit more punch to it.
It's interesting, Ben, you saying that, because I'm originally from Brazil, and the place where I'm from in Brazil, country music always been a big thing. I grew up since as I know, as a person, as a child, I always had country music around me. Literally, it's something very common around the area where I live in Brazil. However, it became so big in Brazil right now that's everywhere. Literally, I've been away from Brazil quite a while now, and sometimes when I watch some programs on TV, like new programs, there's always country music there. I was like, my God, how big it became. At the time, it was something very, local, but like some states in Brazil.
Yeah.
As you said about the US, exactly like Texas. Is where I'm from. The country music style is the same like in Texas, in that area in the US. But now it explodes. I see people from other states in Brazil literally enjoying country music, and it became something very big.
It's bonkers, isn't it? I don't know why it's kind of exploded recently around the world, but there's been
Yeah,
obviously a massive kind of originally, as far as I'm aware, anyway, it was actually the biggest genre in the world anyway.
totally.
And then it seems to have obviously just taken on a massive amount of traction, essentially. So yeah, I think that's great. Like being,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, no, it's really weird to hear, to think that countries all around the world are just starting to
Yeah,
experience more country music, essentially.
totally. And it's fascinating to see like people like artists exploring the genre, and somehow, it's beautiful to see, because, in the UK, I kind of, never seen something like that before. And I
Yeah.
start to watch and see some people like you exploring the music. And I was like, it's interesting because somehow it's getting bigger and bigger. People
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing, like, I mean, most of my actual audience that are from things like Spotify and stuff are based here in Brazil and around Brazil because I've done quite a
interesting.
few house tracks and stuff where I've been a featuring artist.
Well,
And yeah, a lot of my monthly listeners actually come from over in Brazil. So I'll have to try and get over and have a listen to some of the Brazilian country music at some point.
for sure. 3 questions left. Let's do
Right.
it. Okay, before the next question, let's tell me 3 names of 3 artists in the music industry that for you always been a big inspiration for in your life.
Oh, narrowing it down to three is a hard one. I'm gonna say from different aspects. I'll take artists from different aspects. So when I was a lot younger, I was brought up on loads of different music. My family just loads of different music to listen to. But classic rock was quite a heavy one for us. So artists like I want to say AC/DC or kind of Aerosmith, those sort of like kind of 80s classic rock artists. Um, yeah, they were massive influences to me. They kind of, they gave me that kind of want of a driven guitar sound in it, and they gave me that kind of idea of different guitar riffs and licks and stuff, and it kind of opened me up to the different type of music. The second artist I would pick is a band called The Script, which I'm sure you might have heard of. They're quite a big
Yeah.
band. Um, but their album Science and Faith to me just it goes down as one of the best albums ever in personal opinion. It's just one of those where sonically it just sounds amazing. I think it's not every song is the most lyrically advanced, but there's a great story behind every song, and I think it's a great album, and that itself was one of those where I felt that was an amazing piece of work and art to work together. So yeah, I'd say those two for sure, and then I'd say the more recent stuff, probably, which is going to be a lot of country music's inspirations, is probably going to be Luke Combs, because he's one of my favorite artists of all time. I think he's got some incredible songs. He seems like a very down to earth guy. He just seems very genuine, and yeah, I just think his voice is it's like what's the term? It's a bit like melted butter, as you say. It's easy to listen to and things. So yeah, it's I'd say yeah, are those so kind of AC/DC and Aerosmith sort of thing, the scripts and Luke Combs.
Okay, so now the second part of the question is between those 3 artists you just mentioned right now,
Mm-hmm.
if you had the opportunity to open their concert in a world tour, like, they're gonna call you and say, you know what, Ben, I'd like you to open all my concerts in a world tour. Which one of those 3 you would choose? The second part of the second one, you got a call from one of them saying, Ben, I'd like to do a collaboration with you in one music only. And the third one, which one do you choose to work in the whole album with them? So tell me those choices between those 3.
Wow, that's a that's a hard one. I think I would open for the script, um, mostly because I think there's a chance that there could be some crossover with the music, and I might gain fans in that way. And they've obviously got a great fan base, and they'd be playing stadiums and things, which would be incredible. I think I'd do the single collaboration with AC/DC or Aerosmith because it's one of those where they're absolutely incredible artists, but I'm probably slightly just too far out of their musical world to be doing anything more than one song with them. And then I'd have to do the album with Luke Combs because I think that would just be opportunity of a lifetime sort of thing. So
Wow. Now the third part of the question is going to be a bit tougher now.
okay.
One day, you're going to wake up in the morning having 3 missed calls on your phone from those 3 you just mentioned right now. Which one you're going to call back straight away? Which one you're going to send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you just ignore them for now.
Oh, ignore them. Ignoring inspiration is that's a hard one. um, I'd have to call Luke Combs back straight away. Again, I think he's one of those where he's obviously very relevant now anyway, but it's one of those where I love so many of his songs that I'd love to the opportunity just even to chat with him. I'd have to say I would probably call back AC/DC later, and then maybe ignore script for now.
Oh,
It's a hard thing to say. I don't know. That's yeah. It's a mean question. It's a
sorry.
but yeah.
You
It's
can blame me.
yeah. Absolutely. It's one of those where I'd love to obviously work and chat with all of them. But yeah, no. I think if I had to do it that way, to work logically with what the sort of stuff I do and the sort of stuff that would work best, I think that would be the best way to go by it.
Ben, in the end of the day, you can blame me, okay? I put you on the spot, okay? It's my fault, okay? Okay, the next question is, tell us about your first job.
My first job, I was a restaurant waiter.
Okay.
I believe it's different in different countries. I think you can't actually be a waiter in, say, America till you're 18 and things. But I was a waiter from about 15 or 16 here in the UK, and I ended up then working as a runner in the kitchen and then at the bar.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was a great experience for when I was younger. I can't say I'd ever go back to hospitality now, personally, as I think a lot of people who leave hospitality say. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think it was definitely it was a great way to earn a bit of money, and it was something to teach me a lot of responsibility when I was younger, which was useful.
amazing. Two questions left. Let's do it. Hey, Ben, next question for you is, what's something not many people know about you, but I already asked that in the beginning, so I'm gonna get another question for you. All right, describe yourself in 3 words.
Ooh, okay. Um, we got it's kind of 2 words. Our class is the one. Hardworking, I'd say, is kind of the descriptive term. So our class has one. Uh, I'm trying to think of the best way to put another one. Mindful, I guess, is the best way to put it. Instead of like in caring sort of sense, but more mindful is probably the better idea. Um, and relaxed, I guess. Easygoing. I'm a very easygoing guy. I'm very happy to be doing anything that comes up. If friends want to go and do stuff, and they're like, oh, okay, let's just go out for a day. Fine. They could then go. Let's go travel 6 hours and go do the cheese rolling event that's coming up and stuff. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll do whatever's up. So yeah, very relaxed, very easygoing. Yeah.
What would be the title of your memoir one day?
Oh, that's a question. Um, I genuinely don't think I know. That would be an interesting one. I think yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have an answer for you yet. That's
Right.
one I might have to have a think about if that ever comes up again. Yeah, I don't. If you can think of anything, then feel free to give me give me an idea. But I've got nothing on the mind at the moment for it.
I'm sure after we hang up the call, you go like, oh, I wish I had said that.
It's always the way. As soon as it comes up, you're like, oh, that's the one. How could I have missed it? Yeah.
Amazing. Last question, ready?
Awesome.
Let-
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. Last one. Okay, before the last question, tell me a moment in your career. I'm sure you have some moments that you're never gonna forget, some moments that were very special for you, some moments that touched your heart sometimes. But tell me so far in your career, moments that you go like, you know what, this moment, it was special.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that can kind of stand out with that sort of stuff. That when I was at university, we had um, a kind of songwriter and guitarist come in, and he's a very close friend of Ed Sheeran, and he wrote Thinking Out Loud with him and things like that. And I got a chance to sit down and perform Thinking Out Loud with him, which was great. Performing that with someone who was one of the original writers is incredible. We've had times where we've been performing at festivals, and we've played to 3, 4, 5, 6,000 people. There was one time actually where we were meant to be going on as the support for Scouting for Girls, and they very very well known UK band over here, and obviously relatively well known internationally as well. Just you may not know, you may do, but yeah, they actually I think they double booked or something like that, and they actually had to go on earlier, so they actually ended up doing a switch, and they ended up supporting us for the main slot, which was a really really weird kind of switch around. And there's loads of different things like that, where I've been able to meet some incredible musicians, perform some incredible shows, and just have some of the best times with it. Some of them have even been just really relaxed kind of so-far sounds gigs where it's in people's living rooms. Some have been where I've gone to a town in, say, like West Wales where no one's kind of expecting to be there, and we've completely filled out the theatre and things, and it's been
Wow,
a really intimate setting. And it's yeah, there's so many times where I can kind of think back and go, I've had so many lucky experiences when I've been performing. So yeah, I've definitely had a few to say the least, and I'm hoping many more to come.
amazing. Last question is, what makes you feel discouraged?
Um, I think it's hard to say. I think one of the things that makes me feel discouraged is a lack of interest in something when I've put a lot of effort into it. So it might be that I've spent I don't know spent quite a bit of money into recording a song, and I've spent a lot of time on it, and I put loads of money into promotion. I put myself into promotion loads of time as well, and things, and then obviously it comes out and it doesn't quite hit, and it's stuff like that, and you kind of go, oh, this is really sad, and yeah. So I think there's things that will definitely bring me down in some way. Um, but I think it's then just remembering everything in context, remembering everything to itself. Like, just because the song has come out today and it's not got 100,000 streams in one day doesn't mean it's going to be, you know, a bad day or a bad song. It's just remembering that some things can be slow burners as well. With like
Totally.
Pink Pony Club by Chaperone came out. I want to say 2 or 3 years before it actually kind of blew up and went onto the radio and things massively. So it's yeah, it's just being aware of the fact that just because something hasn't happened that very day doesn't mean it can't happen.
I think it's all part of the journey. It's life
Yeah.
talking to you. It's life, trying to show you a message. There's always something about it. I know you can get frustrated, can get discouraged, but however, when you look back or when you think about it, it's just life. It's just you are navigating through the music industry,
Yeah.
with the up and downs that it brings. So it's not easy to deal with for sure. I'm sure however, it's just the way sometimes. Just need to go
Yeah,
navigate.
absolutely that. And I think it's just, even if it's in the music context or not, I think it's just remembering that, you can feel disheartened and brought down or however you want to feel, but there's always that kind of light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a silver lining. There's always
Yeah,
going to be something that will change something in the future that will make things better. So
totally.
it's just, it's being able to accept what's happening at that point and being able to process it and move through it, I think is the big thing.
Amazing. Right, not then yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
Let's start with money,
Power.
family,
Love.
fear,
Scared.
life,
Long.
please,
Yeah.
love,
Uh, Open, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why.
religion,
Skeptical.
sex,
Fun.
politics,
Moderate.
friendship,
Necessary.
desire,
Needed.
regret,
None.
success,
I'm trying to think of the exact one word then. Success. Partial.
happiness.
Always.
One word for Bristol.
For Bristol. Iconic.
One word for England.
um, Trying to be careful on that one. Home.
One word for country rock artist.
Underrated.
And the last one now, music. One word.
Universal.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friends, what's the most beautiful thing about Ben, and what's something that he still needs to work on? What do you think your best friend would say about you?
Um, I think I would hope that they would say that I'm caring, and I think I try to do that and be that way. But I think that one of the things they'll also say that I need to work on would be probably being able to show my emotions a bit more.
In-
I'm very matter of fact as a person. I'm very stern. As much as I can, I can be very caring and stuff. I'm very open in that person. I'm just also, I've in the past struggled to open up to people, and that's one of the things where I've worked on it quite a bit. So hopefully they maybe wouldn't say that now, but I think that would be one of the main things.
Do you cry easily, Ben?
No, no, I can probably count on both hands the amount of times in my life that I've cried.
Wow. And what's your star sign or astrology?
My star sign for astrology is Pisces.
Pisces. Oh, so your birthday was very recently.
Yes, yeah, just at the end of February. Yeah.
Amazing. Very good. Let's play now, Ben, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, but before you ask me the question, what music has taught you so far?
Music so far has taught me to be resilient, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
taught me to be understanding, be open to criticism, be open to change,
Mm-hmm.
be open to failure, be open to a lot of different things, and a lot of things that may not necessarily come naturally in everyday life or careers. So yeah, I think music has definitely, as an overall, made me more resilient as a person because it's allowed me to understand and accept other people's opinions and ideas with things, even if I don't necessarily agree. So yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Ben, you can ask me a question now.
Awesome. Okay, so I was going to ask you what is the meaning of life, but you've done that one. So we're going to go for a different one. I'm going to go for. There's a question on a podcast that I listen to quite a bit. Oh, it is an old question, but me and my friends have had a few good laughs asking it. So, if you were to fight an animal, but you had to fight them in the same way that they would fight you, what is the biggest animal you think you could win? For example, if you were fighting a chicken, you'd have to be able to peck it to attack it, sort of thing. Or a horse, you'd have to kick it with the back legs and stuff. So, what's the biggest animal you think you could win against fighting an animal in the same style they would fight you?
My God, what a great question. Very creative. My God, wow, you put me right in the spot. I was expecting this question for sure. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That's a great question. Wow, Ben. Wow. It feels like a very, psychologist
It's a
question.
hard thing to think, isn't it? Because you've got to start
Yeah,
racking your brain on which animals you got.
absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, 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 wow. You know what? Wow, great question. My God. Okay, I'm gonna answer the first, thing that came to my mind.
Hmm.
Right. It's it's gonna be let's say unexpected answer, maybe different.
Hmm.
However, I'm gonna go for this one. You know what? I would face or I would fight, let's see, a felino, like let's say a tiger. However,
Okay.
I'll tell you how. I think before they attack, you know, they prepare themselves, they take their time. It's a kind of psychologist way of, until they get to the point when they can attack. And I think I would use the same way as well, knowing that they can see me and I'm playing the same way around with them before I attack. And I'll find a way for them to give up, to show them that I could win.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting way of thinking about that, actually.
I know it's an unusual answer, but I'm gonna be honest. That's the way that came first. The animal came to my mind. The first one, when you said about the fights. Second, I think for me it'll be difficult to win any kind of fight with them because they are professional. They know how to win those fights, and I'm very bad with that for sure. So I would find a way to play around psychologist, one of the tigers,
Mm.
because they know, before they attack, they use their talent of get the right time to attack. So I think I would use the same mindset as well for the attack. I would win. I would win before they attack because I would make
We
them
win
to give
before it
up.
even starts.
Yes, yes, great question. You made me think now. I love your question, and I'm sure that after the call, I'm gonna have the same feeling as you. Oh no, actually, I could change that. I could do that.
It's one of those
Anyway,
you'll think on it a few times and you'll go, actually, that's a good animal, or that's a good one, and kind of they'll keep coming. But
yes,
yeah, no, I like the
literally.
answer though. It's a really good answer.
No, and actually, when you said about the horse and everything, somehow gave me some ideas. But I said to myself, "My God, they're so powerful the way they do it that I wouldn't be able to win for sure."
That's the thing. There's a load of people that are kind of like, oh, I reckon I could take on a dog. It's like, I don't think you could. Like, if you're fighting it as a human, sure, but if you're having to bite this dog, then it's
Totally,
probably going to be a struggle.
Abs absolutely, and I'll feel so bad as well to bite them. So it will be a difficult thing to do for sure. Great question. Did you enjoy the interview?
It's been great chatting. Yeah, I've had a great time. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for being so kind. Thanks for being so sweet and accepting my invitation. And also, thanks for bringing this passion about music. I love passionate people. I love to see people expressing themselves through art, through music, through anything in their lives. And it's amazing to see you exploring this kind of music. And it's beautiful to see. I think it's the way to go. You just need to explore and go for it because there are a lot of people out there that they love it, and I think it's amazing to see for sure. Carry on with your career for sure.
Thank you very
Um,
much. I definitely will, and thank you for giving me the chance to talk about it as well.
And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah, you mentioned this obviously before we hopped on the call, and it was one of those where the I tried having to think about it a while before. Obviously, we did this kind of interview, and the one thing that always kind of came back to me, which may sound cheesy to some, but to me has been a pointed thing, is just not to give up in general.
Hmm.
There's so many times where I've faced adverse situations or hardship and wanted to give up and wanted to stop, and if you stop, there's nothing carrying on after that. And I think that's the point: is you need to carry on. You need to keep going. Yes, you may feel low or down about something now, but it will get better. You will find a way through. You will kind of make a change in that situation for yourself. So, yeah, as much as it's been said 1,000 times over by 1,000 different people, the classic "never give up on yourself" is absolutely something I would employ to people.
Totally, and I agree with you. I think sometimes just around the corner, sometimes just need to give another step or another try or another, breath or anything. It's just around the corner. Sometimes just you need to keep going and keep trying because it's just waiting for you, for you. It's just challenging you to see how far you can go until it happens. So I
Exactly.
get, I love that for sure.
Nice.
Perfect. Thanks again, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on
No,
the show.
and
Okay,
you, mate. It's been absolutely great to chat. Yeah, definitely keep in touch, and thanks so much for having me on.
take care. Bye bye. Bye
Cheers, man.
bye.
I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.